What's up, folks? Stu Myrick here for. We're back on YouTube and Twitch after being off last week. Give me a moment. I'm still doing. Well, trying to do a little bit of. There we are. Okay. Um, all is well, though. Hope you had a great Thanksgiving weekend. Hope you got all the turkey that you wanted. Okay. Anyway, hope you had a good weekend. Good Thanksgiving weekend. It was a football. Well, started football for me with the Cowboys getting the win over the Giants. I, I don't want to buy in. The Cowboys find a way to break your heart, but right now, man, it's they're looking good. We'll see. So Cowboys won. The Longhorns won, beat Baylor to finish the season 8-4. Had a chance at the Big 12 title game, but Kansas State beat Kansas, so that closed that door. So the Longhorns await their bowl assignment. I think the general consensus probably the Alamo Bowl in San Antonio, but we'll see. Unfortunately, Lake Travis lost in the third round of the UIL Texas High School Football Playoffs. Lost to San Antonio Brennan. It was a back and forth game, but in the end, Brennan, the Bears had just a little bit more, and so Lake Travis ends their season. Uh, so Vandergrift is still alive. So if you listen to High School Football on the Horn, Vandergrift's still alive. They will host Dripping Springs Friday night, and that game will go all across the Horn. So 104.9 FM, 101.9 FM, and AM 1260. Kickoff 7 p.m. Central from Gupton Stadium. So they're still going. They're in the state quarterfinals, regional finals, whatever you want to call it. So we got NXT on the television. Duke Hudson taking on Grayson Waller. They're also supposed to choose the 5 men and 5 women that are going to take part in this iron something challenge or whatever that they're going to do at NXT Deadline in a week and a half. So we saw it was Road Dogg, X-Pac, Alundra Blaze, a.k.a. Medusa, and Molly Holly figuring out the participants. So So, anyway. Well, that stinks. So, try and get Justin into the gate because they changed the gate thing, and now there's no real. So, now we're flashing back to the big conference table with Shawn Michaels and Road Dogg and X-Pac and Molly Holly and Wonder Blaze back in the ring. So, mentioned we will recap WWE Survivor Series. It was fine. It was, it was fine for what it was. We'll also preview Inspire After Death has a free event coming up this Sunday. Bastards Don't Get Christmas Presents 2. If you'll recall, the rebirth of Inspire happened a year ago at the Yellow Jacket Social Club on East 5th Street here in Austin. They, started with Bastards Don't Get Christmas Presents. It was a free event in their, I guess the courtyard or whatever. Well, Inspire's returning there this Sunday, so we'll have Biss on to. We're actually going to do that segment first, so we're going to do that first, and then the Survivor Series recap and other stuff. So yeah, we'll do that. And we'll also talk some AEW. By the way, AEW, they'll be in town next week, next Wednesday night at the HB Center at Cedar Park. The first of 3 straight shows here in the state of Texas. They're at the HB Center at Cedar Park next Wednesday. The following Wednesday, Winter is coming at the Curtis Colwell Center in Garland. And then the Wednesday after that is, I believe, Holiday Bash at the Hemisphere Arena in San Antonio. So yeah, AEW spending some time in the great state, in the Lone Star State, this month, or December. It'll be December in 2 days. So, but otherwise the weekend was good. Yes, there is a Christmas tree here in the studio. We have a Christmas tree. It's a wrestling Christmas tree. I have wrestling ornaments on it. So, but yes, we have a Christmas tree here. It's crazy, yes, but I have 3 Christmas trees here in my abode. With this one, the main one in my living room, and I've got one in the bedroom. So I went a little crazy on Christmas, but hey, it's Christmas. So, Duke Hudson almost booted whoever the girl is for Chase U. Goes back in the ring and gets caught with a stunner. Hooks the leg, and we get a 3 count from Grayson Waller getting the victory. So, and Waller's mocking Chase U. And here's Mackenzie Mitch with Javier Bernal. So, interesting. I don't know. As I mentioned, Survivor Series We did see the return of Becky Lynch, and she was a huge boost to getting the victory for Bianca Belair's team. You figured it was going to be, with the men's and women's War Games matches, you're going to have baby faces win one, heels win the other. So, sure enough, the baby faces won the women, so the heels, a.k.a. the Bloodline, won the men's. It was a big kind of back and forth on Sami Zayn with Kevin Owens, and eventually Sami Zayn hits the low blow on Kevin Owens and to prove his loyalty to the Bloodline. So we do have a new United States champion, Austin Theory. The new, more angry Austin Theory gets the victory, gets the title, actually pinned Seth Rollins, which I was a little surprised. So, Ronda Rousey beat Shotzi Blackheart. I call her Shotzi Blackheart. Still Shotzi. I don't think anybody on earth expected Shotzi to win, outside of maybe her parents. AJ Styles, Finn Balor, that was a good match. AJ Styles getting the win. So, but yeah, five matches, and that was it. And that was, and so. So yeah, so we'll talk some about that and what's happened afterwards, as I said, which mainly was just Raw. There's Justin. Wearing your U.S. soccer jersey.
Hell yeah.
USA getting the win. 1-0 victory over Iran.
Oh, you said their name right.
They advanced to the knockout round.
Yeah, huge accomplishment.
Huge, yeah.
Won a lot of money today, so I can't complain.
You doing good? How was Thanksgiving?
It was all right.
Yeah?
Weather sucked.
Where were you?
Here.
Oh, yeah, weather did stink. Oh, it was awful. Driving up to Arlington, and that was, good God, that was awful. Took me an hour more than it usually takes me.
Ugh.
It was bad.
At that point, might as well have just considered staying.
No, the drive back was fine.
Oh, it was the drive there?
Yeah, it was just the drive there, because with 3:20 or 3:30 kick, they like for us to be there 2.5, 3 hours early, media, but at AT&T Stadium, and so I left my usual time, but it was like 1:30.
What's your usual time?
Usually I'll go, if it's be there 3 hours early. It's just under 3 hours to get from here to my parking spot at AT&T Stadium. It took an extra hour because of all the traffic and the rain and the slowdowns and all the good stuff.
Dang, you have it planned out pretty well.
Oh, yeah. Well, I've been doing this a while. All right, let's call. We're going to do the BIS segment first. The Inspire segment first. And then we'll do the recap next. But, by the way, big thanks to Mike Sempervive for filling in last week. And we weren't on the radio last week, did podcast, but, that's okay.
It's a travesty is what it is. I mean.
Well, Longhorns are rolling in basketball, so.
No, travesty. Travesty. You know why? I'll tell you why. Because the one, the only MJF.
Biss. How are you, man?
Can you hear me?
Crown champion.
Hear you. Yes, I heard. I get you.
And
Justin.
that should have been radio worthy.
Yeah, well, we talked about
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we got you. Can you hear us? You got us? Biss, you there? Try it again. I know. That's what it was.
Hey, can you hear me?
Let's try this. Better? You got me?
Can you hear me?
I hear you.
Damn.
Think the cable's just shot.
Biss, you got me?
Hey, Stu, can you hear me?
I hear you.
But can you hear us? That's the question.
Still can't hear. If you can hear me, I can't hear you, man.
Okay.
Call him back. That.
So today kind of feels like Hulk Hogan defeating Iron Sheik for the title. Right?
Sure.
Hey, can you hear me now?
I hear you. Can you hear us?
There we go. Yes, sir. Gotcha.
Okay. That's better. I don't know what was going on, but it was just couldn't.
You know, I'm in a warehouse. It could have been like the area I was in too. Sometimes there's little reception holes.
Yeah, that's possible. So, all right, cool. You doing okay?
Yeah, doing good. Ready to get this thing on the road.
Yeah, I bet you are. All right, we're going to hit the intro and we'll bring you right in, okay?
Okay, cool.
Yeah, here we go. Back here on Sports Guys Talking Wrestling, Stu Myrick, Justin Smash Simmons. So 1 year ago, December 12th, 2021, the rebirth of Inspire Pro, now Inspire After Death. It took place at the Yellow Jacket Social Club on East 5th here in Austin. 1 year later, coming up this Sunday, we go back to where it restarted. Inspire After Death, bringing you Bastards Don't Get Christmas Presents 2 this Sunday at the Yellow Jacket Social Club, 1704 East 5th Street, right here in beautiful downtown Austin, Texas. Bell time, 3 p.m. Central, and he is so good to us to come on to break down the card. Joining us on the Vaqueros Cafe and Cantina hotline, he is the promoter for Inspire, Justin Bissonette. We call him Biss. What's up, Biss?
What's up, guys? Man, my pleasure. It's that time of year again, man.
It is that time of year. It has been a year. We've gone through a lot of different things. We're now doing regularly monthly shows, and we've seen some new talent. Just reflect on the 1 year of Inspire After Death being reborn.
Yeah, it's been a crazy year. Like, it feels like it's 3 years. There's different parts of the past year. getting back in the swing of routine shows again has been great. But then there was also that kind of period where it was like, okay, we're starting to do stuff, but we don't know when the next one's going to be. So it's feels like almost 3 years time in between coming back off of COVID and dipping our toes back in the water 1 year ago for the first one, and now being in a much more stable position and having a routine thing going month in and month out at pinballs to be able to kind of give back and go, okay, here's a free one. If you've never checked us out, here's a chance to see what we're all about.
Yeah, and we're still running pinballs. We'll be back there in January. But yeah, this year has been you like I said, started last December at Yellow Jacket, and then you fast forward to the WrestleMania weekend show in Arlington, where Luigi Primo goes viral, and then like you said, started doing the monthly shows at Pinballs Arcade. What's been the biggest surprise of this last year?
I mean, I would say that the biggest surprise for us was, just the amount of support that we got running a Thursday, weekday show that's not a traditional show anymore or a show day anymore, and the fact that the fans still showed up and supported and have backed out pinballs has been really cool. We know that's not a traditional show day, and for people to show up like they do is really special for us.
Let me ask you this. Has there been talent that you want to book, but because it's on a Thursday, it makes it difficult?
For the most part, it makes it easier because you're not competing with anybody, right? But there are certain talents that you just can't get because maybe it's a local person that can't get off of a secondary job, right? To come down or other issues that come into play. But for the most part, it's been a benefit.
Biss, I wanted to ask you, before you got back into this, really, I really feel it was just WWE, but now that my boy MJF is the champion, and he's gone through those doors of what was Inspire Pro, now to Inspire AD, how difficult has it been to book good indie talent, especially now with the prominence of AEW, being a legit and it's going to hang around, and we can see it's going to be around for the foreseeable future. How has that affected your booking when it comes to booking this indie talent?
Yeah, there's not the same consensus on who the top indie guys are, right? Whereas before it was kind of like, okay, you look at the top tier independent shows and the guys at the top of those shows are all kind of the same. It's kind of become more niche now and what you're looking for. So when you're looking to bring in a guest like that or a talent like that, you're kind of taking more of a gamble now because there's not just everyone agrees this is number one and number two and number three. It just depends on your taste in wrestling, so to bring in those people that are gonna catch the attention of the most people, it's a little bit more challenging now because a lot of those people that would be the consensus are getting snatched up a little bit earlier.
Yeah, it's and to Inspire's credit, brought in some good indie talent from Effie to Kid Bandit to Jungle Kiona out of Japan. Just talk for a second about the reception they have received by the Inspire fans and what it means to you and Max and everybody that the crowd just they love those folks and want them to come back.
It makes it a lot easier, right? And I think we talked about it the last time I was on, like to see a guest star come back that soon, like within 2 months or within a month when we're talking about Jungle Kyoto, that's not normally the case. Usually you want to wait maybe 6 months to a year to make the crowd hungry again, but just for the crowd to be that invested in those characters and to say, hey, we want to see them again next month and be hungry to buy those tickets. makes the job as a promoter a little bit easier. So, and I think it speaks to the unique talents. Jungle is somebody that was in the Joshi world and prominent for a long time. So to get her over here was a big deal. And then when you talk about Kid Bandit, just the way that they have promoted themselves and kind of are such a unique, just presence on a show is really beneficial. And there's like almost a cult following. I think they've only been wrestling for maybe a year and a half now, and just to have that is crazy.
Yeah, it is. It really is. Let's talk about this card we're going to see on Sunday, and this is a free event. You just come out, check out the. By the way, I have to ask you. I did look at the forecast. Looks like we're not going to have precipitation, but is there some sort of backup plan should we get a little weather?
We are winging it.
Okay.
So,
all right.
There's no tent. It looks like it's going to be a beautiful day in Austin, Texas, which somehow we lucked into. With Austin weather, that's something that we will definitely be keeping in mind in the future. But with the setup at Yellow Jacket, we basically got the big parking lot there.
Yeah.
So we're basically just crossing our fingers and our toes, but it looks like it's going to be a beautiful day.
Yeah, it does look like it's going to be a nice day. You got a triple threat for the Pure Prestige title. T-Ray Watford defending against Stephen Wolf and Exodus Prime. We've seen this best of 3 series between Wolf and Exodus Prime. They've gone back and forth, and then in November it got to the point where it couldn't be settled. It just couldn't be settled, and so you decided to put them in this title match with T-Ray. What do you expect to see when we see these 3 men get in the ring for that title?
Oh, with Exodus Prime and Stephen Wolf, I thought that I had seen everything that they had to offer, and then they gave even more. So I've learned my lesson. I'm not going to underestimate what they've got left in the tank to give. And then T-Ray Watford, I think Inspire knew that he was a talented wrestler. They were very much behind him, but they hadn't had a chance to see him have like that one-on-one main event match. And at the past show, him and Kiefer Bartek, it was sort of a breakout, not for T-Ray, but a breakout for T-Ray and Inspire to have that one-on-one matchup and show really what T-Ray can offer. So now you put them all 3 together, going after that belt. That's, the lineage of that belt speaks for itself. I think we're going to get something really special out of it.
Yeah, I think we are too. This one's it's very intriguing. Teflon John is defending the Inspire Pro Championship against a surprise return. Now, there's no identity yet. And I kind of want to be surprised when I get there on Sunday. So I don't want you to tell me who it is, but I guess give me at least a clue as to what we might expect.
Well, I'll state it this way. I will pull the curtain back a little bit. So originally we were trying to sign Will Allday versus John Bedlam, and unfortunately we couldn't get Will Allday. So we had to make up for that. So we reached out and we reached into our bag of tricks, and I think we've got a good one here.
Okay. All right.
It's like, do they have a connection to Sting?
Sting's past. That would be something. But Teflon John, he calls himself Mr. Inspire now that he won that title from Steve Areno. He's still trying to make Inspire into his own image. But I tell you what, for all of his bravado and everything, he is definitely very skilled in the ring.
Yeah, absolutely. It's why you take a chance on a talent that's as vocal as he is. And he, in a weird way, he is a lot of what I want Inspire to be about. Just maybe not, the verbal message behind it.
Yeah.
And he's a great champion. It's just the extra baggage that comes along with it.
Yeah, which is Justin mentioned, used to that a little bit with MJF. Prince Adam versus ASF, that's going to be a banger. Hyon and Rachel Rose, two of the best female indie talents, not just in Texas but across the country. Talk for a second about having this premier matchup on Sunday at Yellow Jacket Social Club.
Yeah, this is, to me, these are two of the girls that you look at and go, okay, why are they not on TV? They've got everything that you need. There's a lot of talk. I don't want to get you in too much trouble with there's a lot of talk about, hey, there's not enough girls to host a all female pay-per-view. Well, there's two right there that I'm pretty sure you could put on any card. I borrowed a little bit from my buddies at New Texas Pro. They've had this match twice and it's been amazing both times. So, and both girls are kind of on that trajectory to where they're meeting in Austin. So it's the first time in Austin, and I think it's going to be for a free show to get that match. I think is a steal.
Wait. So you guys are just giving this away for free?
This one's for free.
Oh my gosh, man! You're giving this match away for free. That's awesome.
Any doubt that the talent's out there? Come on out, man. Witness it yourself.
And then Space Tiger taking on Zeke Rose, two talents. We saw a little bit of them last month during the N64 Gauntlet. But talk for a second about Space Tiger and Zeke Rose. Yeah,
these are two of the guys that were in the N64 Gauntlet, which it's all about finding new talent in those type of matchups. And these two were kind of the ones that intrigued us. So they had a little bit of a run in and they teamed up for a little bit and then they cost each other. So we're going to let them kind of settle it in the ring and see where it goes from there.
And we got the tag match, Hollywood Stringer and Red Scare taking on Kerry G. Wright and Dylan Cavens, plus the Born Haters are going to appear. All in all, it's going to be a fantastic event. Inspire After Death Bastards Don't Get Christmas Presents 2 this Sunday at the Yellow Jacket Social Club, 1704 East 5th Street, here in Austin, right downtown. Bell time is 3 p.m. Central, so make sure you get there early. Of course, the bar will be open. It's a free event. It is, as my buddy Steve Foster used to say, free 99. So come on down, check it out. This is gonna be a great celebration of having Inspire back for a year.
Yeah, absolutely. And that we want anybody and everybody to be able to come out. If you haven't been able to make it to the Thursday shows, now we got a Sunday one. It's a little bit earlier, so if you got to work on Monday, you're covered. And if you're able to hang out and enjoy the drinks and the food that Yellow Jacket provides, hey, it's right there.
Absolutely. He is Justin Bissonette, a.k.a. Biss, promoter for Inspire After Death. Biss, I appreciate the knowledge, man. Looking forward to this Sunday, and I'll see you at Yellow Jacket Social Club.
And I would be remiss, I got to say, hey, shout out to 12XU that's sponsoring and making this thing possible. So.
Absolutely. 12XU, a great partner with Inspire After Death. Thanks, Biss.
Take care, guys.
All right, Biss, that was great, man.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. I'll see you on Sunday, okay?
Yes, sir. It's going to be we got to hope for that weather, but I think we'll be all right.
I think we'll be fine. Thanks, Biss.
Later, Biss.
Take care, guys.
Bye-bye. I was so excited for Inspire to come back last year, and now we come a full year later, and here we go. In a great event for free.
Yeah.
So if you're listening to this, come on out. There's Cowboys don't play until Sunday night, so plenty of time. Come on out, check out some great wrestling, and have a lot of fun. Yellow Jacket Social Club there on East 5th Street with Inspire After Death. Coming up after the break, we'll let you know what else is happening in independent wrestling around the area. You're listening to Sports Guys Talking Wrestling on the Horn. And that's how they do it. All right. Nice.
So, Stu, I have to ask
you,
how do you feel like, wait. Where are the Cowboys at this week? Are they on the road or are they?
No, they're home. It's
a
Sunday night game against Indianapolis.
You going?
No.
Okay. So,
no.
I wanted to ask because I haven't replied to this guy yet, and I need to. It's for work. It's work related, so but you'll get paid if you want to do it. But I'm not sure if you're up to the task. But I don't
What's
mind
that?
asking you on air, so
What's
it's
that?
all good. So it's the Kicking World National Championship. It's basically punts and field goal kicks.
Okay.
The coach who runs it is the guy that would be in charge. Now, I did it for him last year. You can find it on YouTube and stuff and
Okay.
get an idea. He's changing it. He's going much smaller production. Last year he had a lot of cameras and stuff, but he needs a voice to do like the play-by-play for it, right? More or less, like you're kind
Okay.
of just talking about the kids and the distances and doing interviews and stuff, and then probably can use a camera person too. But if you knew anybody for that portion, but I was gonna say I really can't do it. 'Cause
When is it?
it would be on Sunday.
Well, see, I can't because I'm doing Inspire.
10:30 in the morning.
I'm not going to be. I won't be. I wouldn't want to go out that early anyway.
Okay.
Yeah, but I bet you we know a couple people. I know one
Do
or
you
two
really?
folks. Yeah, sure. I'll see if maybe Rodney Rodriguez has some time.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, I
I
just
mean,
wanna-
he does high school football as well. So
Yeah, I know. Just before I tell somebody no, I always like to at least pass along somebody
No, I
that
appreciate
might
it, yeah.
want it.
yeah.
You know, because it's like it's not a bad gig. It's a unique call.
No,
It's-
it sounds fun.
yeah,
it's
you know
Sunday
anybody
morning
that's-
though.
You know anybody that lives near like Del Valley? It's going to be at the high school stadium there. So you know somebody.
I'll see, let me think about it.
Yeah, because I was like, oh man, I forgot. I gotta get back to this guy, you know,
Yeah.
because he sent me a text, and I was like, oh, that's right. And I was like, I really just because I got the show in the morning,
Right.
and like you know, it's a big weekend
It is.
sports wise, and it's like, oh man, I don't like
Yeah.
to turn down money, but it's like I've already worked a lot this week too, so
I
I'm just
get you.
like,
I get you. Believe me.
but somebody
So-
should make some money off.
Yeah,
of this,
sure,
You know?
sure. So, but yeah, I will be at Yellow Jacket Social Club Sunday afternoon. So, calling the action with Kenny Cross, and should be fun. Standing on the rooftop. Okay, what are we seeing now? Some vignette. We saw Nikita Lyons, NXT. We saw Nikita Lyons get beat up. She was about to come out for six woman tag, and now we got a girl running.
Well, she's obviously Irish.
Is she?
Oh yeah.
She's got feathers on her shoulder pads. If I didn't know better, nope, it's not. Lyra Valkyria. I'm sure. Probably somebody I should know, but okay.
I mean, how are you really supposed to know all this? And like, who is the top
I
indie
don't
talent
know.
coming out and getting signed?
It's-
Because they don't necessarily sign like the top indie talent. They
No.
sign a mixture of athletes and
Yeah, it's a little. I think they started to mix in a little more indie talent now that Vince is gone. But
even
still,
then,
it's still primarily college athletes.
yeah. I mean, they're going hard on their what's it called? Their NIL.
NIL. Yeah. Yeah, they were doing the whole NIL thing, and so. I mean, it's not Bijan Mustardson, but you know,
Well, I mean, no Lamborghini or anything like that.
or
but-
Lamborghini. That's right.
So does he have to?
Bijan for Heisman.
So like, oh, he's not even going to get it in.
No, he's not getting invited just because Texas is 8-4.
I
If,
was like-
if they had gone 10-2, Bijan be in New York.
I was going to say, well,
he needs to win the Doak Walker.
I was going to say, I thought he was going to go to New York to at least get that award. Oh, I was going to ask. So now that the season is basically over for him, does he have to give back the Lamborghini?
I don't know. That's a good question.
It's like, or does he have a contract to where he will have a Lamborghini, you know, from this company until the NFL draft, or how does that
Yeah.
work?
I don't know. That'd be a good question. So, all right, let's do a little Survivor Series recap.
When they're not Hola a todos, este es Thunder Rosa y estás escuchando Sports Guys Talking Wrestling. This is Thunder Rosa and you're listening to Sports Guys Talking Wrestling.
When they're not covering the sports world, they're talking about the world of professional wrestling.
It's Sports Guys Talking Wrestling.
Now, with Justin Simmons, here's Stu Myrick.
It is Sports Guys Talking Wrestling on the Horn. Stu Myrick, Justin the Smash Simmons returns. How was Thanksgiving, man?
Oh, I ate a lot of food, but I had a lot of work.
Yeah?
Like, honestly, yeah, just a lot of basketball, a lot of soccer, all that good stuff.
Saw a couple of the pics on your Instagram at the
Thank you.
Smash Simmons.
Thank you.
You look busy.
Yeah.
I mean, I only had two. I only had the Cowboys and Lake Travis.
I know, only the Cowboys. Right?
You know, and
I
it was
imagine
one,
the spread
one,
was good.
You know, look,
They were talking
Jerry
about
Jones,
it on air.
Jerry Jones, the game day spread in the press box at AT&T Stadium. Jerry Jones always does it right, but Thanksgiving,
Yeah.
they take it up another notch.
Oh man, I would have gone just for the food.
I mean, I had both turkey and prime rib.
And prime rib,
It
dang!
was fantastic.
I've never had prime rib on Thanksgiving.
Oh, it was so good. It was so good. Good Lord.
and that he gets the good stuff too, because I've gone to enough
Yeah,
catering.
this isn't like rubber. It's they're actually carving. They carve it right there.
I know they
and
got
serve
a
it to you.
guy right.
Yeah.
It's like
It's fantastic.
that's why I'm like, oh, the catering's top notch.
You weren't with me last week. By the way, big thanks to Mike Sempervive from Wrestling Observer Live for joining me. So I want to get your reaction to MJF winning the AEW World Title.
In true MJF fashion, it's about time.
It was interesting. You kind of had a feeling it was going to happen. You didn't know what route they were going to take. Interesting, they went with Regal turning on Mox and all the good stuff, and but nevertheless, now MJF. Hopefully, Mox now gets that lengthy vacation he was supposed to take after All Out. Again, as I mentioned to Mike last week, I don't know how good the fishing is in December, but hey, why not?
But
So,
the pairing of Regal and MJF together,
that'll be interesting.
do you like it? Do you not like it?
Wait and see.
Because right now I'm just kind of like, you don't need two really good talkers together, do you?
We'll wait and see. I don't know. We'll wait and see. We had WWE Survivor Series 4 games this past Saturday. That was the only thing missing was William Regal not yelling out 4 games.
They don't own like
You
a
had-
snippet of that.
Well, no, because he's not with WWE. He's with AEW.
I know, but they could just use his voice. They don't have to
I
put him on
guess it
screen.
could. You had a feeling that it was going to be like, with 2 War Games matches, baby faces win one, the heels win the other one. And that's sure enough. It was, on the women's side, Bianca Belair's team, which had the returning Becky Lynch,
Awesome outfit.
gets the win. And then
And a good match.
And then the heels, a.k.a. the Bloodline, getting the win in the men's match over the
Wait.
the Brawling Brutes,
you-
Drew McIntyre and Kevin Owens.
Are you saying that the Bloodline are heels?
They're supposed to be. Now, I'm not saying that's how they get the reaction, but technically, if you look, that's how they have them on their roster.
I guess. They're like
It was.
tweeners.
I mean, it was fine for what it was. We saw some good stuff. Saw Io coming off the top of the cage. Saw some some high spots. Saw some power stuff.
Well, they did what WWE does best, and they told a story.
They did,
And
yep.
that's what made the main event. It wasn't
They
the
did.
wrestling, because I'll be honest, and you probably won't think this is like a really great take, and I'm sure there's others that would disagree, but personally, I can find War Games to be a little bland until everybody gets into the ring.
Yeah, I'll give that.
Yeah, and like they can never agree what to call it. They
Well-
called it the match beyond, but they called it just War Game starts this time.
Well,
or
see, that's the
something.
thing. Yeah, because the original concept
Yeah,
that was done in Jim Crockett Promotions, War Games was each man coming in.
Mm-hmm.
And then once all 10 are in there,
The match
match beyond starts.
Yes.
Mike and I had this discussion last week. And so, yeah, it was so weird that they used the match beyond a couple times, but yeah, they didn't really know where to go. And I'm thinking, look, if you're going to use Dusty's concept, go all in on it. You know, use the whole thing.
That's what I was kind of hoping for, just because Triple H is such a purist. But I'll give him credit for bringing it back, because this is the place to bring it.
Do you like the fact that they bring in the plunder and the weapons and?
Oh yeah, I mean it's war games. It doesn't matter how it takes place. It's supposed to be vicious.
I guess it's okay. There's a small piece of me that wishes there was still the roof on.
It definitely needs the roof, I feel.
But then you don't get the big spots from, you know.
I'm okay without the huge spot, but make the roof, like, there's got to be somebody that can take advantage of a roof cage.
Yeah.
Nowadays, you know, there's got to be somebody super athletic.
You would think. So.
But I was disappointed because the first guy out is Kevin Owens, and he's dressed not normally like how he's dressed to wrestle. He's dressed in jeans. So I'm like, oh, okay, so everybody's going to be dressed in, like, you know.
By the way, love the Dusty T-shirt.
Yes. But I was thinking, like, oh, okay, so everybody's going to come out in, like, traditional War Games garb, or they're not wearing their wrestling stuff. They're usually wearing, like jeans and boots and stuff, right? And then when everybody else came out in the wrestling gear, I was like, oh. Yeah. I was disappointed, because I was like, so what's so special about War Games if you're wearing the same clothes that you normally wear?
Yeah. 2 title matches. One of them, it resulted in a title change. Austin Theory actually pinning Seth Rollins. Mm-hmm. I was a little surprised it was going to be that he pinned Rollins. I thought they would find a way for him to pin Bobby Lashley, but nevertheless, the new angry Austin Theory is now, for the second time, United States champion.
Rollins can win or lose, and nothing will hurt him. Yeah. He's just untouchable.
Yeah, he is a bit. Yeah, he's you know, he's got that aura around him.
And Angry Theory works in the sense, if you can kind of compare him to The Rock, like, hey, here's this young baby face. He's a champion already. Young.
Except for
crowd turns on him.
Except for the fact Theory was never a baby face. He's always been a heel.
Yeah, but like even when he was getting all his stuff, there was like legit heat. It wasn't
there was legit heat because everybody thought he was Vince's boy.
Exactly. So I mean, like, he was unpopular. You know that has to rub off in the locker room too.
Yeah.
But now that he got that win and now he has this new persona, I can see the crowd starting to like him because he's such a jerk to them.
Yeah. Ronda Rousey beating Shotzi. I think everybody on the planet Earth except maybe Shotzi's parents knew Ronda was winning that one.
Oh, that's right. That wasn't exactly that everybody went to the restroom or something.
Wasn't exactly a mystery. AJ Styles, Finn Balor. AJ gets the win. It was a good match.
What are we expecting?
What? Yeah.
Please, somebody tell me. No, I'm just asking because everybody was like, yeah, because everybody's like, oh, that match was good, but it could have been better. I'm like, I understand it could be better, but like, how much are you expecting from Finn versus AJ? Because they're, no offense, they're a little older now.
Yeah.
But even then, like, they're going to work a WWE style match.
Very true. Very true.
So what are the expectations here?
I don't know. I thought it was fine. It did its job. So, all in all, good event. Triple H saying it was, best gate. Broke a couple other records that they had. I mean, all in all, a very successful event. So, we fast forward to Monday Night Raw. I was intrigued by the commercial-free first hour.
Oh yeah, that was cool.
And now that I think about it, it's like you wonder if that was maybe a test, because Triple H has said many times in the past, Raw should be 2 hours. So you wonder maybe he decided to do that just to see. I mean, they're making money hand over fist at this point.
I mean, everybody's got to be making money off of a 3-hour Raw regardless, right?
So why not take out an hour?
Well, my problem is that, like, you're the biggest wrestling company in the world. You should be able to make 3 hours work. You have a roster. You mean to tell me there's not enough qualified writers?
They should, But there are quite a few where there are quite a few of the shows where it does feel like 3 hours is just a little much.
Oh, I understand, and I'm with you. And that's where I'm like, I think we're giving them, too much criticism in the past. But in this case, I'm like, no. I mean, you have the money to go out and hire a hour-by-hour staff just to handle opening segments and just to handle the middle. Like, you should be, and you have a roster full of talented people, and you have all these random championships. You should be able to find a way to make everything important instead of just what it's been the last couple of decades, where it's just like, oh, it's just a pass because you're the WWE. It's just a pass because you're the only game in town. Just a pass because you're the largest game in town.
Exactly.
And we got used to that.
Yeah.
So I'm like, no, they should be able to fill 3 hours. They don't have to reduce it if it was good 3 hours. I'm not saying it's going to be the best 3 hours.
But that's the thing. I think it would be easier on them if they went ahead and reduced it to 2 hours. I don't see that happening anytime soon. But who knows? Becky Lynch going out in the crowd with what was it, Bob and who was the other guy? I forget. Anyway, that was fun. And then Damage Control, and then they brawl up into the concourse there at the Norfolk, whatever the arena. It used to be called the Scope, but
lots of brawls last night.
Yeah, there were.
There's lots of random fights.
Yeah, there were. We did have one big development. Dexter Lumis beating The Miz. So now Dexter Lumis gets a contract plus all the money, and he started handing out money to fan mail. I was going, man, and he was handing like $100 bills.
That's good, man. People, it's almost Christmas time. Got to buy
it
stuff.
is.
Got the tree
that
up.
That was
everything.
nice.
I forgot about that. But
way to go, Dexter.
Well, the problem is, though, is like, what's next for this guy who doesn't talk?
We'll see. I don't know if maybe he continues with Johnny Gargano, or maybe it's I don't know what to do. I don't know what's going to be the deal.
Like, will it be enough to kind of hold over a national audience in part of that 3 hours?
I mean, that's what I'm afraid. It's kind of what you were talking about. They've got all the money in the world. They should be able to afford writers that can write intriguing enough stories for a lot of these different talents, not just Dexter Lumis. So.
Yeah, we're not trying to reinvent physics here. We're just trying to put together a pro wrestling show.
Right. There's a report coming from Sportskeeda that WWE is going to run a quote big show in India on January 18th. They've even put a date on it. I wonder if this will be like a what was it, Superstar Spectacular or something like that, or one of these just in a foreign land, and they'll probably run it on Peacock, and again it'll probably be a glorified house show, but why not?
Well, I mean, it's gonna be like Clash. If it's anything like Clash at the Castle, I mean, I'd be all for it. That crowd was great.
That crowd was great. Now, I bet
the show was good.
The India crowd should be great as well. I wonder where in India that would be. I mean, would it be like, could it be a soccer stadium or what have you?
I mean, it'd probably be a cricket ground. It'd probably be Mumbai. Yeah. That would be the most logical choice to me.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, there's so many people that live in India. I mean, like, they have so many fans in India too. I mean,
they do, because
I see it on social media all the time. They have been pining for a live event there. So this is great.
Well, and this could be, they were, there has been talk that WWE wants to do more shows overseas. So, here we go. India, of course, they do the Saudi shows, and they did Cardiff, Wales. Could we see, even more events? I mean, time will tell, but we'll see.
It looks like they're really trying to emphasize world.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
In their world wrestling entertainment.
Absolutely. Let's switch gears to AEW. We were talking about MJF to begin the show. His first title defense, at least as we see it now, will likely be Ricky Starks on December 14th in Garland at Winter is Coming.
I swear we've seen this like at an Inspire show at
one
point.
We did, yes. And I was trying to find it. I could swear the match is on YouTube under Inspire AD's YouTube channel. But yes, we did see it. But yeah, now we're going to see it on the big stage of AEW.
Yeah, national television.
Ricky getting the win over Ethan Page in the World Title Eliminator Tournament against the odds, and so you'll be Ricky Starks challenging MJF. And of course we tape this on Tuesday, so if you're listening on the Horn, we will have already heard from MJF and I guess William Regal on Dynamite. And then yeah, that first title defense, because as far as I know, didn't have a title defense lined up for Cedar Park on the 7th, so we shall see. Andre El Idolo put on his social medias that he underwent surgery for a torn pec.
Yeah.
He's been out since September, and apparently that's when when the injury happened.
Yeah, he said.
And apparently he's just now going. He just now went under the knife.
Yeah, I mean he's been working through it like a wrestler, true wrestler.
No, that's the thing. He hasn't been wrestling.
No, but the first time when he finished his match out when it happened,
he finished the match, but he hasn't been in the ring since September. So
he was probably trying to go the route without having to get surgery and probably try to PT it.
Probably.
Just wasn't going to work.
Anyway, so wishing the best for a speedy recovery to Andrade El Idolo. Do they still have the Andrade family office that he won from Matt Hardy?
I don't think so.
I don't know. That's weird.
You know how wrestling goes.
Yeah.
One day they're talking about it, and then the next day you never heard of it.
Last week on Dynamite, they did announce Thunder Rosa has relinquished the women's world title.
Okay, Stu, do you feel bad now that we were talking about it on this show and now it actually happened?
No, because it wasn't a matter of I mean, look, I think we all saw the writing on the wall. And look, we love Thunder Rosa to death. She's one of our favorites, and she was a fantastic champion. So Jamie Hayter, the interim tag has been taken off her reign. And in fact, they retroactively took the interim tag off of Toni Storm's title reign. So when she had the title, she was the women's world title, whatever that means.
Okay, yeah.
That's what they announced. I'm not gonna, let the chips fall where they may. So anyway,
I don't know
but yeah,
that.
I know Thunder Rosa's busy. They've got Mission Pro Wrestling has an event. I think it's on December 10th. In fact, Simon Miller is coming back.
Oh,
Our good friend from What Culture Wrestling, Simon Miller, coming back. I would go, but I'm slated to go to Ring of Honor Final Battle in Arlington. So,
well, then who is he going to eat Whataburger with without you?
It was barbecue, actually.
Barbecue.
Yeah, took him for barbecue. So anyway, but yeah, we will keep you posted. I hope Thunder Rosa comes back to wrestling. And that's the thing. I don't know if that's going to happen or not, but let's hope she does. So, speaking of Ring of Honor Final Battle, it will be December 11th at College Park Center, basically University of Texas at Arlington campus. It will be Chris Jericho defending the Ring of Honor World Championship against Claudio Castagnoli. And if Claudio loses, he has to join the Jericho Appreciation Society. Interesting development, which I can see the match going either way.
I just never really been cared for against their will storylines,
I'm not crazy about it because it's like you feel like it's gonna because now you're watching the clock until the eventual breakup is going to happen.
Well, it's just because they're a company that really relies on the backstory that you don't see on screen. So I'm like, okay, so is he forced to ride together with them too? Or are we going to have a digital series out of this? Like tell me how we're really going to make this play out, because it seems a little silly.
Which makes me feel like maybe they go ahead and put the title back on Claudio. I don't know.
Ooh, I didn't think of it that way. But even then, I've liked the Jericho run with the belt. It's given it some meaning.
It's been interesting. Now he needs to stop going after Ian Riccaboni Ian's our friend.
Well, maybe Ian might have to just get some lessons and defend himself.
No, we won't. No, we don't want him to go after Ian.
He's pretty buff.
Nobody
dude. He
likes
could do it.
nobody cares about seeing a announcer get beaten up. But anyway,
I don't know. You talking about Jim Cornette as a manager or Jim Cornette as a broadcaster? Because
Cornette's different. Cornette was a manager. So anyway, we'll see what happens December 11th at Final Battle. We got to take a quick time out. When we come back, Inspire After Death celebrates 1 year of their rebirth with Bastards Don't Get Christmas Presents 2. We'll talk to lead promoter Justin Bissonette about that event coming up next on Sports Guys Talking Wrestling on the Horn. 2045. All right. Which we did, so you know, if you're on YouTube and Twitch, you've seen it all, you've heard that already.
Or you can just go back and rewind after this post.
Well, or you can get the podcast either off hornfm.com or from your favorite podcast provider, or watch the video on YouTube.
How does the Horn changing the way that they post affect us now?
Doesn't affect us at all.
Okay.
Because we don't use we use a separate, we have our own separate podcast deal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So yeah. All the Horn podcasts, they switch from SoundCloud to another podcast platform or podcast hosting platform.
That's what I heard.
But we're using a totally separate podcast platform, so it doesn't affect us at all.
Okay.
Okay. So anyway, yeah. There wasn't much. Can you think of anything I missed? There really wasn't much from Survivor Series.
I mean, I don't think we really spent enough time discussing it because, like, the big fallout from Survivor Series is obviously how it played out, but especially in the final, the War Games final with the men.
Yeah,
but it was
with
just
Kevin
all
Owens
like,
and Sami Zayn. Yeah, we didn't spend a lot of time on that.
And I really wanted to take the moment just to kind of like look over it because this has been the longest running storyline in WWE.
Yeah.
You know, some people were saying it was going too long. I think it's
I don't agree. I think it's fine.
Yeah, and I'm thinking like I want it to go further. I know that the breakup is going to come eventually. I just don't know when.
And that's the thing. It was interesting that they went ahead and even more solidified Sami Zayn as part of the bloodline.
Because like, how did you feel about this whole like, oh, he turned on his family? And I'm just like, well, wait a minute. Like, they've turned on each other in WWE many times. Not, and this isn't like an ROH thing. This is like in WWE. They fought each other and were friends and then fought each other. So it's like, how he, like, why make him feel remorseful about it? Just let him do it.
Yeah,
I
agree.
And just really solidify him as part of the family. But did you like the reactions? Everybody was saying the match was boring to a certain extent because it was just like, okay, Brawling Brutes and Drew, they're just filler for the storyline here, which is exactly what happened after they got taken out.
It wasn't boring. I mean, it was.
Everybody did their part, but it was so.
It was your typical War Games match. Simple as that. You had to wait for everybody to get in the ring before all the sparks flew.
And that's why I also wanted to talk about it. I was like, now I understand Dusty's concept and stuff, but dude, the rules of War Games have to be tweaked in order to make it a more successful and more exciting show. Because I understand like having just one person pin when everybody's already in there is just like a really easy way to end it, like for storyline purposes, like we just witnessed. But wouldn't it also be more exciting if it was just like, okay, once everybody's in the ring, then
it becomes a Survivor Series match?
Yeah, exactly. And it's just like an all-out tornado 5 versus 5 or whatever. And then like you start
eliminations.
Yeah, so people start pinning, people start submitting, and then that's when those people are eliminated. And then you can just keep on beating up on the last guy. So it could be like Survivor Series 4-on-1, but it's like everybody's just beating up on that guy at that point.
Interesting. That is an idea.
Because that's what I would like to see. Because they don't have that match yet. And I'm like, okay, well then War Games would be the perfect time to do it. Because if everybody had to be eliminated, it really solidifies like the true marriage between War Games and Survivor Series. And that's like, to me, it was the perfect marriage where it's like, oh, this is a 5-on-5 Survivor Series War Game match.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's, okay, once everybody's in, we get to the match beyond, that's where the eliminations start taking place.
Yeah. It's possible.
And, you know, it's still no holds bar. You can have weapons. I'm cool with the weapons in this type of setting. I don't think you really need them, but are you cool with War Games not having blood? This is a match that usually is supposed to be very violent.
It doesn't.
I know it's not going to fly.
I'm
with
not
WWE.
I'm not like, I don't have to have blood, but I mean, it if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I'm not worried about that. So, but yeah, it is an interesting concept, basically melding the two concepts into one. So
I mean, well, once you decide to start your promotion, then we can put it into practice when we start booking.
Once I start, sure.
Well, you think we can get BIS to book this?
Maybe.
I mean, we would need 2 rings and a cage. Like, where are we going to get 2 rings? I mean, like, honestly, that's like one of the hardest things right there is just having 2 rings.
I don't know. All right, let's do our last segment. YouTube, Twitch, we'll got mute. I'll be right back. Back here on Sports Guys Talking Wrestling on the Horn, Stu Myrick, Justin the Smash Simmons. Besides Inspire, we got a few other independent cards to tell you about. We are going to start in Sherman. Texoma Pro Wrestling presents Winter Warfare this Friday night at the Elks Lodge in Sherman. Bell time 8 p.m. Central. Matt Taven from the Kingdom will be there. Shane Taylor, Tim Storm, and more. That's Texoma Pro Wrestling this Friday night in Sherman. Branded Outlaw Wrestling presents Yuletide Slangs Saturday at the Woodlawn Gym in San Antonio. Bell time 7 p.m. Central. Rodney Mack, Alex Arsenal, Shiva Queen, Aaron Mercer, and more. That's Branded Outlaw Wrestling this Saturday in San Antonio. Puro Pinche Wrestling presents Wrestling at a Bar 2 Saturday at Shorty's in Kingsville. Bell time 7 p.m. Central. Chandler Hopkins, Khan, Maddie Rinkowski, Corvus, and more. That's Puro Pinche Wrestling this Saturday in Kingsville. And then Metroplex Wrestling presents Cold Day in Hell Saturday at the MPX Event Center in Bedford. Bell time 8 p.m. Central. Dmitry Alexandrov, Brick Savage, Sky Blue, Max the Impaler, and more. That's Metroplex Wrestling this Saturday in Bedford. And that's a look at independent wrestling around the area. Wherever you may be, go out and support independent wrestling. By the way, speaking of Texoma Pro, did you hear their trailer got stolen?
No.
From the Sherman Elks Lodge.
Okay.
It got stolen. The trailer holds the ring, the trusses, and everything. My heart goes out to Robert Langdon and everybody at Texoma Pro.
That's awful.
I mean, it is god awful. Hopefully they can find the thieves, find the stuff, and hopefully they'll be able to put on the show this Friday, either with their ring or maybe get one from somebody. But man, that's awful.
I mean, I know that the show will go on, but man, that's awful because I know the ring's expensive. You know, the parts, a lot of them are custom made, so it's man, that sucks.
It does. Pro Wrestling Noah. We know that Sting is going to head to Pro Wrestling Noah in January to team up with his longtime rival, the Great Muta, in Great Muta's one of Great Muta's final matches on his retirement tour. Well, Sting's not going alone. Darby Allin's going to go with Sting, so it's going to be Darby Allin and Sting and the Great Muta teaming up on January 22nd in Yokohama, Japan.
I was wondering who was going to take all the bumps.
Yeah. So, but anyway, congratulations, Darby Allin, on making that trip with Sting. That's going to be just a fantastic event to see Sting and Great Muta in the ring one last time. Should be fantastic. Impact Wrestling, their parent company, Anthem Sports and Entertainment, announced a partnership with DAZN,
Yep.
DAZN. Our Jordan and Eddie from Fight Night talk about them all the time.
That's how you say it.
Anyway, they've announced partnership with DAZN to distribute their weekly series and their pay-per-views to over 170 countries.
Yeah, that's
big time.
That's a really interesting deal because the Zone is really more of a combat sport type deal. A lot more boxing than it is MMA. And I do see a lot of the Golden Boy fights on there, a lot of stuff from Matchroom Boxing as well. So this has been an interesting move because it's kind of telling me it's like, you're not getting enough views from just the boxing and the MMA alone. You really feel like you need to supplement it with what is still pretty hot right now, which is pro wrestling and Impact. Yeah. This is good for them though, man. They've been needing like a home, a stable one.
And you have the Zone, you got Fight TV, you have all these different streaming services that are now getting into the pro wrestling market. And so
I was surprised to see
and the winner's
Fight.
the consumer. The winner's the consumer. So
I was really surprised to see pro wrestling on Fight TV.
Yeah.
And I was just like, what? You're like, this isn't what Fight TV was about originally. But I guess people see that there is a value in pro wrestling. That's cool because as a fan, you know how it is. Sometimes it's just like, nah, nobody cares. And it's like, no, people care.
They do.
Advertisers care.
Yeah. Tales from the Territories, Tuesday nights on Vice TV. Last week, fantastic episode, World Class Championship Wrestling. This week, Jim Crockett Promotions.
Ooh.
That should be a lot of fun.
I mean, so far they've been pretty good. It
was cool seeing Brian Adias last week.
Yeah.
On the World Class episode.
Yeah, I watched that one too, but I was really enamored with the Portland wrestling one.
Because
I didn't know anything really about Portland, and from what they were telling me and how Playboy Buddy Rose.
Yeah,
it's like, oh, he's the reason why all the tapes that they have is because he had like this weird infatuation and going back home at 3 a.m. and taping it and watching it again. Okay, how weird.
Better than nothing, right? So. Football this weekend. Lake Travis, unfortunately, their season came to an end last Friday night at the hands of San Antonio Brennan. Good luck to them as they go face Westlake. Vandergrift is still alive. Vandergrift will host Dripping Springs in the regional finals, a.k.a. state quarterfinals. Kickoff, 7 p.m. Central on Friday night. Burl Bertrand and the crew. And you can hear that all across the Horn, 104.9, 101.9 FM and AM 1260.
I was really hoping that Harlan Jones was going to beat the Tigers.
Yeah, well, Dripping Springs, Austin Novosad is a stud at quarterback. I'm telling you now.
I know, but we got one team in the Valley that's going to the state quarterfinals this year.
That's good. That's good. And then Sunday night, the Dallas Cowboys. I don't want to buy in, but man, they are looking good. Coming off that win against the Giants, they will host the lowly Indianapolis Colts. Sunday night football, pregame 6 p.m. Central, kickoff 7:20 p.m. Central. You can hear that on the Horn as well. Texas Longhorns, their season finished last week with the win against Baylor at 8-4. They now await their bowl assignment. I think the general consensus is the Valero Alamo Bowl in San Antonio, but we shall see.
I think the big question is that we really await to see who's actually going to play in this thing.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't even seem like Hudson Card would be available either from what we're hearing.
Well, yeah, Hudson Card in the transfer portal. So that'll do it for this week's Sports Guys Talking Wrestling. You can follow Justin Smash Simmons on Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch at The Smash Simmons. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Stu Myrick. That's STEWMYRICK. You can follow the show on Twitter and Twitch at SGTWATX. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Sports Guys Talking Wrestling. We live stream on YouTube and Twitch Tuesday nights, 7:30 p.m. Central. You can also catch us Wednesday nights at 9 p.m. Central on the flagship radio station for the Texas Longhorns and your radio home in Austin for the Dallas Cowboys, We are The Horn, 104.9, 101.9 FM and AM 1260. Or you can catch us anytime on demand by either going to hornfm.com and click on the On-Air tab, or by subscribing to us on your favorite podcast provider. Make sure you rate and review us while you're there. For Justin, I'm Stu. Thank you so much for giving us part of your time. We will see you at the matches.
Goodbye and good night. Bang!
And there we go. And man, well, we got Von Wagner taking on, which one is it? Is that Enos or Malik?
Malik.
Is that Malik Blake? Okay. I don't think we know who's going to be in the Iron whatever challenge.
It's funny because Malik has like the Booker T boots from Harlem Heat days.
Oh, he does. Yeah. Okay.
Like he has like the Booker T look from back
It
then.
was. I will say this. It was weird. Booker T was on commentary. Roxanne Perez taking on Indy Hartwell, and of course, you know, Booker T, the proud trainer. You know, Roxanne, stalwart from reality wrestling.
Yeah.
So, you know, he had to be, you know, proud as could be. And Von Wagner gets the win with Robert Stone, that checkerboard suit. Good God, that's a look. Would you wear a checkerboard suit?
I was just thinking about that. I would wear it. I don't know if I mean, that two-tone, I guess it would work. It's
The
just
gray
kind
and
of
black?
Yeah.
Oh, here comes.
It's just
Oh, and he gets the big boot.
it's a little limiting though, because I'm like, so you can only wear it with like
Oh,
white,
and here comes Odyssey Jones.
maybe a black shirt underneath, but like, yeah, not the most versatile of suits. But it's kind of hard to do with Seth Rollins.
Is he
look.
wearing a Godfather shirt? I think he is.
It looks like he is.
Shout out to the Godfather. Yep, he sure is.
Oh, that's his. I'm assuming it's the
I guess
Godfather's
his
line.
CBD brand or something. Well, I guess he's in Las Vegas, so I guess it's
Pretty sure it's legal weed. at
yeah,
this
it's
point.
legal there. So Iron Survivor Challenge, that's what it's called. Carmella Hayes, JD Madonna, Grayson Waller, Joe Gacy, and we don't know who the fifth one.
What is this supposed to be?
This match is so convoluted. The women: Zoe Stark, Cora Jade, Roxanne Perez, Kiana James, and I guess they're gonna have a mystery. Iron Survivor Challenge. This thing's got so many rules.
I mean, the one thing that goes well with pro wrestling is the convolution of rules.
Man.
Like, do you remember the AWA World Series
Yes.
of wrestling
Oh my God, that was bad.
point total system?
It was points, and it was you had tag teams that were just random.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
So
because
you might
guys
get-
left.
You might get like what was his name? Like Sergeant Slaughter and Colonel Beers, or you know.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, we got Toxic Attraction still. Hard to believe that Gigi Dolan that's Priscilla Kelly.
Nah.
She looks she looked skinny. She was skinnier back then. So, anyway, interesting. All right, we're gonna sign off on YouTube and Twitch. Thanks so much for joining us. Hope you enjoyed the show. You here next week?
That's a good question.
We might be back next week. Stay tuned to our social medias to see if we're back next week, but we should be back next week. But for now.